The one thing I know is that Stitch is a menace to society.
I don't think you're supposed to drink that.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. Today I'm going to be reviewing the newest Disney live-action remake, Lilo and Stitch. But before we get started, make sure to leave a like, as it does help out a lot, and it's free to do so. But first, we got to talk about what Disney has been doing these days, and what they've been doing is making a lot of live-action remakes. We've been having tons of them these past 5 years, I would say. This year in particular, we've already had two, with this one and then Snow White, which I found really abysmal. And with these live action remakes, it's like a roller coaster, a really interesting roller coaster that has a lot of highs, a lot of lows. Some of my highs being like the Aladdin movie, I really enjoyed, saw it with my mom. Beauty and the Beast movie, I thought was great. I didn't end up seeing that one in theaters, but I caught it in Disney Plus, and I thought it was really good. And the lows being, like, of course, Snow White. And you're probably wondering, is Lilo and Stitch a low? I would say it kind of sits somewhere in the middle for me, because it's not terrible, but it doesn't go anywhere as high as the original animated movie for me. And this makes me worried about their next live action remake, which is going to be Moana, coming out next year, because I don't know how they're going to do that movie. The animated Moana movie is very hard to put into live action, considering a lot of water stuff. The creatures in that movie, it will look weird. The Rock, I just do not think it's going to be good. I think it's really going to be scarce to see how that movie will do. I mean, Lilo and Stitch should have been an easy home run. We'll get to why I, had a lot of flaws with it, a lot of stuff I didn't like. But this should have been their easiest home run, as Lilo and Stitch, the animated one, was a pretty simple story. It's one of their most simple movies that they have done lately. And I mean, I thought that way about Snow White. I thought Snow White was a simple home run, simple story, but no, I guess not. It's really not that hard to do this. And yeah, this one should have been a home run. I mean, financially, this one will probably be a home run. It might make $1 billion, who knows? But story-wise, it just wasn't a home run for me when it should have been. What worked for me was basically the CGI and the visual effects of this movie are really good. It's made on $100 million budget, and it looks like, some recent movies that are made on a $300 million budget. It looks better than some of those. Stitch looks absolutely amazing. There's some moments though where some characters are like pointing at Stitch or trying to like pet Stitch, and they're not even close to where they're supposed to be. Like, Lilo is pointing behind Stitch in certain scenes, so it didn't really work out in those instances. But the beginning of the film, you have a lot of creatures in outer space, the ground councilwoman, Pleakley, they all looked really good. I love the effects on them, so that's another strong point of this movie. The other characters, of course, in space looking great. Chris Sanders coming back as the voice of Stitch. He's a classic voice that we've all heard earlier in our lives. If you've seen the animated movie, and I don't know what I would have done if he didn't come back. Hearing someone else's Stitch would have been kind of weird. So I'm happy he came back, and all the promotion that he's been doing as Stitch on like TikTok live streams is really cool. Another great part of this movie was the actresses who played Lilo and Nani. I'm forgetting their names, but they were really good. I especially liked the one that played Lilo. She was very cute in the movie. I loved the jokes in this movie too. I thought it was pretty funny. What didn't work for me were a lot of the story changes of the movie, because there's a lot of story changes. I mean, the story of this one compared to the animated movie is really not all that similar. This one is kind of like 40% of the animated movie, and it makes a lot of changes on the villains, because guess what? There's no Captain Gantu in this movie, which is really disappointing, because he's a great character in the animated movie, and I'm not sure why he's not in this movie. I've heard some people say maybe they didn't have the budget or didn't want to animate a character that large. And I think they could have added another $20 million on this budget to animate Gantu. They would have still made profit in the movie, and him as the villain really worked. And they changed the villain in this movie too a little bit. This one, it's like Jumba is the villain, and Zach Galifianakis voices him, and that also was something that did not work for me, because Jumba is supposed to be like a mad scientist with that, of course, great accent that he has. And Zach Galifianakis just, I don't think that he really brought a lot to this role, as much as I like him as, a funny actor. And of course, the Hangover movies, he's great in that. But here, I didn't really believe it. I did not like the villain. I did not like taking away Gantu. And also, I felt like this movie had basically no structure and it moved way too fast. So overall, the live action Lilo and Stitch remake seemed to have no soul, as the changes that were made here did not benefit the story or characters at all. This will probably make a lot of money at the box office, but to me, it wasn't that great of a movie, which is sad because it should have been an easy home run for them. It does have some nice moments, of course, between Lilo and Stitch, Lilo and Nani, and kids will probably love it, but I probably will just stick to the animated one. I'm going to give Lilo and Stitch a 6 out of 10. If you enjoyed my review, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel. If you also saw the newest live action Lilo and Stitch movie, leave your own thoughts down below in the comments. I'd love to discuss it with you, but I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.